Hey, are you a hopium user? Are you addicted to hope? Are you being sold hopium? Most of us are. And most of us fall for it. So don't actually feel bad about it. But in today's episode, I want to help you recognize hopium and then get past it. Because once you understand how you're being sold, it'll allow you to be awake and notice when you're about to go down that road. Hi, this is Paul Evans, your free online business coach. You can always email me any questions that you have at freeonlinecoachingclub@gmail.com. All right, so what is hopium? Well, it's basically this process. There's going to be a sales page or a video or something along the lines of showing you what the dark present is, your dark present. Not just anybody's, but yours, because they're going to create a sales page or something that is going to help you self-identify and feel like that dark presence is your dark present. Because they'll have everything in there that's typical. Every single emotion, the thought, the process that we go through on a daily basis of not having enough money, not being good looking enough, not getting enough dates, not losing enough weight. It doesn't matter what it is. They're going to paint a psychological picture of the present that is less than stellar. So that's the ultimate goal. Then they're also going to paint a bright future, almost the ultimate future. You know, what would your life be like if you're making an extra 500 a week or 1,000 a week or 50,000 a week, because the joker selling the program's probably making $1 million a day. Or they lost 30 pounds in just 2 weeks. So the bright future is always in incredible contrast to the dark present. And the sales technique is that they're somehow almost magically going to transport you there so that you hardly have to do any work whatsoever. So it's a pretty good formula for creating the addict. So how can you tell if this is something out there that's trying to create some sort of addiction? I use that loosely, and I know some people will be sensitive about that word, but when you think about the number of courses that you bought, or the number of diet books, or the number of anything that's more than one, because you felt like there was another answer and another answer and another answer, because the answer that you bought did not transport you from the dark present to the bright future automatically. One of the ways that you can recognize it is that there are a lot of the same famous faces on every single ad. When you scroll down to the testimonials, sure, there's some normal everyday people testimonials, but a majority of the testimonials are from other famous people within that niche. Why do you think that is? Because they're promoting each other's products. So over the past, I guess 20 some odd years I've been in online business. At that time, it was really called internet marketing. And all the guys promoted everybody else's product. By guys, I mean guys and girls. Everybody's promoting each other's products. We all had pretty much the same list. So that you bought my product, and then I recommended her product, and she recommended that product, but we all have very similar lists. And it created this hopium effect because everybody felt like, ooh, I've got to have that, got to have that, got to have that. So how do you combat it? How do you get free? How do you break free from the hopium addiction? Number one, you admit you've got a problem. It's just like the 12 steps. We've got to admit that we've got a problem with hope. We've got a problem of wanting a quick answer rather than a hard, difficult answer that will actually get us there. The truth is that if we'd be willing to take our time, it would make a difference. Most of us go, well, I don't have time. I've got to make money today. I've got to lose weight today. Or I've got the wedding coming up in 6 weeks. I've got to lose weight for that. That's because we waited. We procrastinated. We didn't pull back and work consistently over time, committed to this lifestyle. But instead, we had to turn to hopium because we needed something fast. So we admit that we've got a problem. Number two, I've got these written down. What's the lie? What's the lie that's being sold or the lie that's being told? Pretty much every sales letter has a lie in it. And I would say there's generally a couple of lies, even though there'll be a disclaimer all the way at the bottom. I think there's always a lie about speed. how fast it can be done. And the reason I think that's a lie is because they take the person who did it the fastest and they act like that's the norm. It's not. It's not the norm. Quick sidebar into a golf story. I may have told this before. I remember my best round of golf ever when it comes to ball striking. I remember hitting a 7-iron 206 yards. I normally hit a 7-iron 175. Now then, what's the truth? The truth is I hit it 206 once, but it's not the norm. It's not typical. Typical is 175, 176. That's typical. That's what the average is. But if I was to sell how to hit the perfect golf shot, what if I put on that page, I'll show you how to hit a 7-iron 206 yards flush every single time. Well, that'd just be a lie because it only happened once. So what's the lie? Speed's often a lie, and the result is often a lie because the result is also an extreme example. Now, they'll say down the page, these results are not typical, but it's almost like telling a jury after somebody, one of the witnesses or one of the attorneys says something and the judge goes, the jury will disregard that statement. Well, they can disregard it, but they won't forget it, right? So when a product says you're going to make X or lose X or do X, and then it says those results aren't typical, it's kind of like telling the jury, disregard it, because you can't. You think that's it. And then you start doing some math. If I only got a quarter of that, if I only got 10% of that result, I'd love it. That's part of Hopium. So ask yourself, what's the lie, and actually write the lie down. Number 3, add it all up. How much have you spent on Hopium? How much money have you spent buying products or books or whatever? If you add it all up, how much is it? I've got a buddy of mine that spent $125,000 and still didn't have his website up because he bought so much hope. Now that's an extreme example. I could write a website, a sales page that says how to avoid spending $125,000 on Hopium. Might not be bad. Number 4, select one of the products you've already bought. Now, which one should you select? I'd select the one that I was going to do. Out of all the products you bought, out of all the paths you've gone down, which one is the most attractional for you? Which one has the most energy for you to move forward? Because you've already bought it. You might as well do it. Which one do you feel like, man, if I dedicated myself to this? Now, your question is probably like, well, Paul, what if it doesn't work? Well, you can't know if it works until you do it over time. I've said in a previous video, take one of these products, commit yourself to 1 year, a full year of work. Paul, I don't have a year. Well, I really don't know what to tell you about that because, that's, you've had 5, 10, 15 years to not do it right. Why not take 1 year to do it correctly? Don't let the culmination of the 15 years or the 10 years or 5 years prevent you from investing 1 more year. And at the end of the year, the worst case scenario, at the end of the year, you're so much more knowledgeable and you're definitely going to be in a different place even if you don't achieve the absolute ultimate dream. That's even fantastic, isn't it? I'd put that on the web page too. All right, so finally, when you subscribe to newsletters, subscribe as a Hopium user. So if you've had a problem buying things, then, and I often would put in there dummy. I would put in the word dummy so that when I subscribe to something and I got all the follow-up messages trying to sell me, it would say, hey, dummy, in this newsletter, I'm going to do X. So, hey, Hopium user, and they're going to try to sell me something. Because how many newsletters do you subscribe to when it comes to actual products that this guy or girl has a product that is not a continual sales process, right? So give yourself a name that every time you see that, it's going to dissuade you from going further or buying. It's going to be a little bit of that wake-up call. Say, oh yeah, this is another Hopium. Now, does that mean it's Hopium? Not necessarily. There could be some truth there. So what you've got to do is switch from that emotional usage to getting into the logical. So I mentioned earlier, what's the lie? Start asking, what's the evidence? What's the truth here? What could actually be accomplished? Remove all the emotion because things are being sold on emotion. Get in there, find out what the truth is, and if you feel like you could actually accomplish this. All right, so if you got any questions, just email me at freeonlinecoachingclub@gmail.com. freeonlinecoachingclub@gmail.com. As always, success is not an accident. Be blessed.